back to the rest of the world, here in Nigeria at least. It's another July 25th, and it's Diaspora Day for Nigerians, Nigerians living in the diaspora. That is to share ideas, culture, and to celebrate the achievements of Nigerians doing great things outside the country. These are just a few pictures of the celebrations going on in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, today. You can see the NIDCOM boss, BK Minister of State for Interior, and even the Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Gambari. We're learning more about today's celebration a little later, but let's talk to one Nigerian in diaspora, Colin Sweke. He's a friend of the House, a foreign affairs commentator who joins me from Brussels in Belgium. Collins, thank you for joining me on the program today. And I'm wondering if you're feeling celebratory, considering it is July 25th. It's supposed to be your day since you're in the diaspora.
Well, I will start by saying Happy Diaspora Day because this is a day marked out not just for the diaspora, but also the friends of diasporas and the cousins, the siblings, brothers and sisters of, the Nigerian diaspora, and that includes you and your, viewers. So it's a day that the federal government has marked out to, shine the light on the diaspora and what they mean for, for Nigeria. And of course, yes, we cannot help but feel celebratory. However, of course, there are a number of issues that actually damper the celebratory mood. As you could see from, the pictures available, the diaspora themselves, present at the celebration itself in Abuja, is rather scanty. I mean, compared to how it used to be in the past. And that is because of the low mood occasioned by quite a number of disappointments. Some outside the control of the diaspora and the government, but quite a lot of them, as a matter of fact, out of, lack of planning and lack of purposefulness.
Yeah, and I suppose you're talking about, the issue of diaspora voting. We were shut down, in the National Assembly. A lot of diasporans are very, very politically in tuned this year. Elections are next year, so I'm sure there are lots of people looking forward to. I mean, I've been hearing comments, all year round, people wanting to participate in the electoral process but cannot, unfortunately. How do you feel about that?
We feel very sad. We feel very disappointed. And as a matter of fact, also we're angry that as Nigerians, first and foremost, irrespective of where we reside, that we are not able to be part of the decision of who leads the country, and that we are not able to participate fully in Nigeria's election. And that is because, government has mishandled the whole thing. Because come to think of it, President Muhammadu Buhari and all other top-ranking, officials of government have actually sworn allegiance to the concept of diaspora voting. This is something they want to do. This is something they want to see happen. And part of the reasons that, NIDCOM, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission was set up was to oversee and mastermind this whole process. But that has been mishandled in such a way that, they can't get, politicians, the legislators across the board to actually pass the bill allowing diaspora voting. And that is perhaps, like I alluded to previously, the reason that the diaspora have kind of locked off, because there is a massive, protest out here in the diaspora boycotting the Diaspora Commission, essentially for the fact that diaspora voting is not taking place. Some are saying that they are not going to be part of the diaspora day any longer until two things happen. Number one, diaspora voting bill passed, and number two, the board of NIDCOM constituted as actually provided for in its Establishment Act. So right now, you have just one-man board that is, operating below capacity, no oversight function from the diaspora and the board members. And that is, as a matter of fact, unacceptable. So there are quite a number of issues, even though the diaspora have made significant progress in the last, decade or two when, Nigerians in Diaspora Organization was set up. And indeed, they continue to contribute to Nigeria's development. There are quite a lot that has to happen to actually beef up that engagement and make the diaspora do more in terms of accelerated development for Nigeria.
Well, you have been talking about these issues for a while, and in private conversations with you that is not on air. But about the achievements of the Diaspora Commission, and I know that some of them would include being able for people outside to be able to get their national identification numbers, Nigerians outside the country, and then diaspora remittances that have been made easier. Which one of them stands out for you, though?
I would believe that one of the things that stand out in terms of what need come, irrespective of the abnormalities there, is actually renewed engagement with the diaspora. They are doing their best, at least as of today. Nigeria has a national policy on diaspora. That is a significant achievement. And then if you look at that document, it is one that was very well put together, working with various stakeholders, including the International Organization for Migration, in coming up with such a document that is very, very powerful. But then you have to look at the key deliverables, the policy initiatives, and the key initiatives that constitute that policy. 2 years into the establishment of the commission, and 1 year after the launch of the policy paper, there is no sign that they are anywhere close to the key performance index that are actually set out there. So yes, while we have the policy paper, which is a major achievement on the part of Diaspora Commission, it remains just a theoretical paper that they haven't managed to be purposeful about its implementation, and that comes as a result of lack of the human capital required to run the Diaspora Commission properly.
The theme for this year's celebration, which is the third, to my understanding, the third Diaspora Day celebration, this year's theme is Diaspora Engagement in Global Challenging Times for National Development. How do you think that relates to the world that we live today? We are barely out of a COVID pandemic. Then we also have, the Russia-Ukraine war. There's a global economic downturn and all of this. How do you interpret that?
Yeah, the theme itself is well chosen. It is germane for the time that we're living in. And if anybody doubted the power of the diaspora, you just simply take a look at, what the diaspora were able to do during the COVID-19 in terms of, helping communities to provide PPE and so on and so forth. Now that, the world economy is being rejigged to respond to the harshness that, the COVID-19 has brought to the global economy, the diaspora looked set to, be able to kind of engineer investment into Nigeria. And, a choice of such a team actually helps to then, think of ways and means of enhancing that diaspora engagement through the global presence of Nigerians outside Nigeria to be able to inject more economic impetus into Nigeria. One can only expect that that is the purpose of choosing that team. But looking at the lineup of speakers, goodwill messages, and so on and so forth, you wonder, what time is then left for the main team to be touched on and workshops organized. And like it used to be, actually bring in the people from the diaspora and their friends and, co-investors to actually see things by themselves and begin to, make assessment how to engage in that, investment that Nigeria needs so very well. That was consequently absent in this particular diaspora day. And, one would hope that post-event, they would then begin to work towards that.
Yeah, and there'll be more Diaspora Days in the future. Maybe one of these days we'll celebrate with you here in Nigeria. Thank you so much, Collins.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Amarachi, for having me.